Right, next we're going to hear from AgniDev, who's known Caru maybe before I was born. No, I don't know. A lot of these people, they've known Caru a long time, and I'm sure it's going to be great. So AgniDev Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So, it's customary in our Vaishnava culture when someone, a devotee, Vaishnava, passes, there's a song that's been written just for the occasion. We have a song for every occasion. But this song was written by one of the previous acharyas, Narottam Das Thakur. And he wrote a song for the departed Vaishnava. I wanted I've sang this song for several Vaishnavas who happened to depart while I was around. Some in America, some in Trinidad, etc. So I want to sing this song. As I say, it's by Narottam Das Thakur. And he expresses very wonderful sentiments. The sentiments that we all can relate to, share. In this song, he expresses the sentiment of not having the association of different people. First of all, he missed the appearance of Lord Chaitanya by that much. So in his song, he expresses the separation from him. Then he also goes on to express separation from some of the associates of Lord Chaitanya, like the 6 Goswamis. These were all great devotees who appeared just to assist Lord Chaitanya in his pastimes of establishing and spreading Krishna consciousness. So, this song Srila Prabhupada gave to us, and as I said, and he instructed that we could sing this song whenever a Vaishnava that's dear to us departs. So, I'm just waiting for them to get the words up on the screen. It'll take me some time. But anyway, maybe I'll say something about Caru first, because they don't have this song yet, and we can sing the song after. So, I met Caru I lived in Los Angeles. I was living in Los Angeles, and then he came, and Bobby came from Berkeley. Then I was sent to Laguna Beach by the authorities. Laguna Beach was just an hour south. I was sent there to be the president of the temple. just after I had left, I would come to Los Angeles frequently, weekly. I'd come at least one day a week because the devotees wanted me to come there and lead the evening kirtan. So one of those days I was in LA, Caru approached me and he said he was going to be starting this program called SACE, S-A-C-E. It stood for South Asian Cultural Exhibition. And he said he's planning to go to all the colleges in Southern California. And I said, it sounds pretty good. You're going to do an exhibition. So he said, but he asked me, he said, I want to, along with the exhibition, have some entertainment. He said, we've already got one man, his name was Chitresh, and he was, at the time, the #1 Kathak dancer from India. I think he was living in San Francisco. So Caru said, I have him, but I want something more. I wanted to know, what else does he want? He said, he asked me if I could put together a band, a Bhajan band of devotees playing different instruments. Because I used to do that with different devotees. So I told him, sure, I can put together a band. So he told me the first college that we would appear in. And he told me the date. We were going at least once a week, sometimes more, twice a week. Every time was a different college. And there are many colleges in Southern California. And he had bookings with all of them. So I said, okay, I can do that. When I showed up, he said, if I can get to Los Angeles by a certain time in the morning, then he would, we could all live together. So I showed up from Laguna Beach. I got there early, and Caru was ready, the band was ready. Madhuha was working with Caru. You'll hear from Madhuha later. But he was doing the setup, setting the stage, microphones for the entertainment. But when I arrived in LA, when everybody was ready to go, Caru came, and he looked at me and he said, and he looked at everybody. There were about 5 or 6 young men. We were all young at the time. And he said, he looked at me and he said, you can't go like this. And I said, what do you mean I can't go like this? I'm the one that's going to sing. I'm the star. He said, well, you can't go with a shaved head. And he said, everybody else in the band had hair. All the devotees, they were from LA. They all had grown out their hair. But because I was the temple president, I had to maintain a shaved head. So he said, you can't go like this. So I said, well, I'm sorry, but, I have to set a standard for the other men in the temple. said, but you can't go like this. So I said, well, I don't know what to do because it'll take a while for me to grow back my hair. It doesn't grow in one day, it takes a while. He said, here's what you'll do. Get somebody to tie a turban around you, on your head. So we can use a Harinam chadar and have them tie a turban. So I said, okay, we can try that. So I was the only one wearing a turban, just to hide my shaved head. And we did it, and it was good. But he was very specific. Every aspect of the exhibit, and he wanted a certain way how we had to look, and the first one was successful. He told me, he said, you can sing songs about Krishna. He knew that I knew many songs. I had made it was something I did. I was anxious to learn songs. So he said, you can sing all the songs you know, but don't chant Hare Krishna. And I was surprised. Why not? He said, because we are not going in this, we're not getting these engagements as the Hare Krishnas. So, you can't chant Hare Krishna. So I said, okay, I'll do that. But there were a few times when after the song, I finished singing the song, I would think of a Hare Krishna melody, and I would go into it, and all were happy. But I remember a couple times, as I started to chant Hare Krishna at the end of the song, and Caru came running across the field, and he had an angry look on his face. And he was giving me the sign to cut it, don't sing Hare, Of course, I understood, but I couldn't help it. That's what I do, I like chanting. So we did it anyway, and like I said, there was a few occasions I went into Hare Krishna, and he would immediately, wherever he was on the campus, he would come running to tell me to stop. Don't chant Hare Krishna. Because he had, the universities, he said, they're hiring me to bring the exhibit, but they don't know that we are Hare Krishnas. Even though the exhibit was full of pictures from Prabhupada's books, that he had created this wonderful exhibit. But he said, if we go as Hare Krishna, they will not, the word will spread, and the other colleges they won't accept us. But if we go as neutral, then it's fine. So, like I said, I understood the reasoning behind it, but sometimes I couldn't help it. I would still go into Hare Krishna. But Madhuha, he approached me after a few colleges, and he said he's been taping the performances, and he said, it sounds pretty good. I think we should put out a tape. This was the days of tape recorders and tapes. CDs haven't come into being yet. So I said, okay. So he had recordings of many and said, what should we call it? And I said, we can call it Bhakti Rasa. Because we are singing about Bhakti. And that tape came out, it was very popular. Everywhere, it went around the world. And I can't remember if they managed to catch any of the times I chanted Hare Krishna. But we were singing many songs. The whole thing was nice because we had one devotee, he's passed away now, he was playing the Esraj. This is Ramdas, Abhiramdas. He plays with a bow, like a violin bow, but this is an Indian instrument, the Esraj, and it's very sweet, it's like crying. So we had that, we had a sitar player. The devotee was from Venezuela. I can't even remember his name. He would play the sitar. We had a harmonium player. We had a tambura player, kartal players, and I would sing. So it's already done. Anyway, it was a success, and I was amazed how ingenious this idea was. That the universities, they were even paying to get him to bring the exhibit there. So they were paying, he had a price and the exhibition was on. He had the exhibit, he had Prabhupada's books displayed and for sale, and he also sold prasadam. It was a complete successful program. Every aspect of Krishna consciousness. The exhibits, we were chanting, the prasadam, everything was there. And we did it for, I can't remember, I know we did it for at least a whole semester. Because every week we have at least one, if not two engagements, two colleges. And he was happy and everyone was happy. So I was always surprised that he's the only one doing this. Nobody else in the movement was doing this. He came up with this idea, and with the help of Madhuha, it was a great presentation of Krishna consciousness undercover. as much as we could be undercover. And then he was in LA and I was in Laguna, and the years passed and he left Los Angeles and came here. But I didn't know what he was doing here. I knew that this was Mormon something, but I thought if he's going there, he's going to do something. So, but I wasn't following him, following what he had accomplished there. But then I was told by Krishna Prastaya that her father, who was named Hari Vilas, okay, I'm getting signals. I talk too slow. But anyway, we could share things after. But I'm going to sing the song now, and then we'll read the translation after. Yeah, I can sing standing. Jayadilo Premadana Karuna
people standing in the back, if anyone wants to slide up just a little bit, if you want to come sit, you can. Sometimes it's nice to stand. So we're going to try to keep the talks to 2 minutes.